Despite the repeated insistence of Prophet Musa and Prophet Harun, Pharaoh was not giving permission for the children of Israel to leave Kit. Egypt, Almighty God bestowed his favor upon the Israelites here as well, and sent various plagues upon Pharaoh to bring him to the right path, which are also mentioned in the Quran. Commentators have stated their number as 7, but the Torah mentions 10 types of plagues. These include water turning to blood, frogs, lice, flies, pestilence on livestock, murrain, boils, hail, locusts, darkness, and the killing of the firstborn. In the Torah's book of Exodus, these are detailed from chapter 7 to 12. However, they are being briefly highlighted here. All these signs occurred after the miracle of Moses' staff turning into a serpent, which happened by God's command. The plague of water turning to blood. The Torah states that the Lord then said to Moses that Pharaoh's heart has become hard, and he refuses to let the people go. Almighty God guided Moses to stand by the riverbank to meet Pharaoh in the morning. If he does not agree, strike the water of the river with your staff, and it will turn into blood, and all the fish will die. The water will become foul-smelling, and the people of Egypt will loathe the river's water. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron, take your staff and stretch out your hand over the waters of Egypt, over their streams and canals, over their ponds and all their reservoirs, so they will turn to blood. Blood will be everywhere in Egypt, even in vessels of wood and stone." Then Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord commanded. He raised his staff in the presence of Pharaoh and his officials, and struck the water of the river, and all the water in it turned to blood. The fish in the river died, and the river smelled so foul that the Egyptians could not drink its water. When the magicians of Egypt did the same, Pharaoh's heart became hard, and he would not listen. The Egyptians dug holes around the river for drinking water. 7 days passed after the Lord struck the river. The plague of frogs. This was the second calamity sent upon the Egyptians to make Pharaoh let the Hebrews go. By God's command, Moses told Pharaoh, "If you refuse to let them go, I will send a plague of frogs on your whole country. The river will teem with frogs. They will come up into your palace and your bedroom and onto your bed, into the houses of your officials and your people, and into your ovens and kneading troughs. The frogs will come up on you and your people and all your officials." And so it happened. Frogs were seen everywhere. Upon this, Pharaoh requested Moses to intercede with the Lord, to take the frogs away from him and his people, and he would let the people go. Therefore, by Moses' prayer, all the frogs died, and they were piled up in heaps. When this plague was removed, Pharaoh went back on his promise. It should be mentioned here that Pharaoh's magicians also produced frogs, but they did not have the power to send them back. The plague of lice gnats, the third plague, was that of lice. By God's command, Prophet Aaron stretched out his hand with his staff and struck the dust of the ground, and lice came upon men and animals. When the magicians tried to produce lice, they were unable. The magicians said to Pharaoh, "This is the finger of God." But Pharaoh's heart remained hard, and he did not consider the matter worth his attention. The plague of flies. This was the fourth plague, sent by Almighty God upon Pharaoh and his people. By the Lord's command, Moses went to Pharaoh in the morning and told him, "Let my people go, so they may worship God. If you do not let them go, I will send swarms of flies on you and your officials, on your people, and into your houses. The houses of the Egyptians will be full of flies, and even the ground where they are. But on that day I will set apart the land of Goshen, where my people live. No swarms of flies will be there, so that you may know that I, the Lord, am in this land." And the next day it happened just so, and the land was ruined because of the flies. Pharaoh again requested Prophet Moses and Aaron to intercede for him. At their prayer, the plague of flies was lifted. But Pharaoh again broke his promise. The plague of livestock, murrain, now Almighty God, sent the plague of murrain upon them. By God's command, Prophet Moses went to Pharaoh and delivered this message from the Lord: "If you refuse to let them go and continue to hold them back, the hand of the Lord will bring a terrible plague on your livestock, in the field and your horses, donkeys and camels, and on your cattle, sheep and goats. But the Lord will make a distinction between the livestock of Israel and the livestock of Egypt, so that no animal belonging to the Israelites will die. The next day all the livestock of the Egyptians died, but not one of the animals belonging to the Israelites died. Pharaoh's heart remained hard, and he did not let the people go. The plague of boils, the Torah states. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Take handfuls of soot from a furnace, and have Moses toss it into the air in the presence of Pharaoh. It will become fine dust over the whole land of Egypt, and festering boils will break out on men and animals throughout the land." They took soot from the furnace and stood before Pharaoh. Moses tossed it into the air, and festering boils broke out on men and animals. The magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils that were on them and on all the Egyptians. And the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not listen, just as the Lord had said to Moses. The plague of Torah records that the Lord then said to Moses, "Get up early in the morning, confront Pharaoh, and say to him, 'This is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says, Let my people go, so they may worship me. Or this time, I will send the full force of my plagues against you, your officials and your people, so you may know that there is no one like me in all the earth. Behold, tomorrow at this time I will cause very heavy hail to rain down, such as has not been in Egypt from the day it was founded until now. Any man or animal who is found in the field and is not brought home will die. When the hail falls on him, by the Lord's command, Moses stretched his staff toward the sky, and hail fell, with fire lightning flashing with it as it fell. It struck down every man and animal that was in the fields. The trees were broken, and the greenery was destroyed. The only place it did not hail was in the land of Goshen, where the Israelites were. Then Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron, and said, "This time I have sinned. The Lord is righteous, and I and my people are wicked. Pray to the Lord, for we have had enough hail." After it stopped, Pharaoh did not let the children of Israel go. The plague of locusts. Prophet Moses and Aaron gave God's message to Pharaoh. "Tomorrow I will bring locusts into your country. They will cover the face of the ground so that it cannot be seen. They will devour what little you have left after the hail. They will devour all your greenery, trees and fields." Pharaoh's officials said to him, "Do you not yet realize that Egypt is ruined? Let the people go." Then Moses and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh. "Go, worship your God," he said. "But who will be going?" Moses answered, "We will go with our young and old, with our sons and daughters, and with our flocks and herds, because we are to celebrate a festival to the Lord." Pharaoh only gave permission for the men and refused the others. Moses stretched his staff over the land of Egypt, and the Lord brought an east wind that blew all that day and all that night. By morning, it had brought the locusts. They covered the surface of the land. They devoured all the greenery and fruit. Then Pharaoh quickly summoned Moses and Aaron, saying, "I have sinned against the Lord your God. Now forgive my sin, just this once, and pray to the Lord your God." They prayed to the Lord, and he sent a very strong west wind, which caught the locusts and carried them into the Red Sea. But Pharaoh did not let the children of Israel go. The plague of darkness Pharaoh kept refusing after agreeing. Therefore, Almighty God imposed another plague on him. The Torah says that the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand toward the sky so that darkness will spread over Egypt, darkness that can be felt." Moses stretched out his hand toward the sky, and total darkness covered all Egypt for 3 days. No one could see anyone else or leave their place for 3 days. Yet all the Israelites had light in the places where they lived. Then Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron and said, "Go, worship the Lord. Even your women and children may go with you. Only leave your flocks and herds behind." Moses refused to go without them, citing the need for sacrifices. And the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he was not willing to let them go. Pharaoh said, "Get out of my sight. Make sure you do not see my face again. The day you see my face, you will die." Moses said, "You have spoken well, will not see your face again." The final plague. Death of the firstborn. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "I will bring one more plague. After that, Pharaoh himself will drive you out." The final plague was the death of the firstborn. At midnight, the Lord struck down all the firstborn in Egypt, from Pharaoh's firstborn to the prisoners, and all the firstborn of the livestock. Pharaoh and all his officials, and all the Egyptians got up during the night, and there was loud wailing in Egypt, for there was not a house without someone dead. During the night, Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron and said, "Up, leave my people, you and the Israelites. Go, and as you said, go and worship your God. Take your flocks and herds, and go, and bless me too." After this, the children of Israel departed. Pharaoh pursued them, but God helped the Israelites cross the Red Sea safely, while Pharaoh and his armies drowned.